The first thing is to talk about why we would consecrate, just to get us into the subject. So in terms of our tools and all our magical materials, to consecrate is to make sacred, holy, to lift the item out of the realms of the purely mundane. It assigns special importance to it and even special power. It makes it pop on the astral, or in more psychological terms, it impresses the subconscious mind so that each time it's used, the subconscious is alerted to the magnitude of the operation at hand and understands how to proceed. And in turn, the witch or magician is empowered, has confidence, and over time, the object itself develops a psychic charge as a result. I should preface all my videos in this way, really, but I'm certainly not a teacher. I'm a student of all these things, and what I share is only things that I have used or that I think might be of interest, things that interest me and I think might be of interest to other people. So the views expressed are simply my own. They're not the truth, they're not right, and they're not necessarily wrong. They're just my own views. So I must make that clear straight away, really. Because the right to consecrate might be the first hurdle we have to overcome, especially if we were raised to believe that only ordained ministers or members of the clergy or other holy people, depending on which religion you were raised in, have the right and ability to consecrate. And it can take a while to disabuse ourselves of this notion. What can help, and what certainly I found helpful, is if we consider that each of us is a divine being, or that within each person is the spark of divinity, and it's with that spark that we use our right and our power to consecrate. And as Stuart Farrar writes, I think this was in one of his, whether it was the Witch's Bible or one of those. So this is a Wiccan writer. The power to consecrate is regarded as inherent in every human being, and that was something that was new to me, and it took a while to sort of get my head around that. But in much the way as a chaos magician would do, I cherry-picked that and went on, and it really helped with all acts of consecration, and indeed with other acts of the craft and with magic. He goes on to explain the effectiveness of that when carried out with the utmost sincerity, and he also writes that even coven neophytes, which are newbies to the craft, are encouraged to consecrate certain items, and he had no doubt of the validity of their act. So that's really the first thing that some of us need to learn and understand. Maybe others it comes more naturally, but it is our birthright to assume spiritual authority when needed. Excuse my voice, I think I'm losing it. I've been doing too much talking today. So the next thing to look at would be how to consecrate, and there are very many different ways to do this. All I'm sharing here is how I do it. And I think it helps to feel ready to consecrate if we've put work into the preparation. And this can look different for everyone. We might meditate, cleanse ourselves and our workspace. We might dress up in fancy robes and that sort of thing. As I do, we might do the QC, which is the Kabbalistic cross. And I have done a little video on how to do that. Because with the Kabbalistic cross, I feel that it really sets the aura, lifts you out, lifts you up and sets your aura. And I would also do the LBRP. Other people may say prayers or read devotional material of some kind, or all of that, whatever it is that puts us in that right headspace, if we need to do that. And in new agey terms, I suppose it raises our vibration. So we're already demonstrating intent and sincerity and respect. I would always advocate casting sacred space and calling in protective energies, because this is spiritual work, and as such it comes with potential dangers. For Wiccans, I suppose this would mean obviously casting a circle and calling the quarters. And importantly, the words that we use to consecrate can also help with if we have that innate reluctance to assume spiritual authority. So these are the words I use, which indicate my temporary authority in that moment by the power vested in me. And here I'm acknowledging that the power comes from the divine and not my ego. By the power vested in me, in the name of, and here I would usually say the Most High or the Most Holy, because I think it covers all bases. But you might use your own chosen divine name. So by the power vested in me, in the name of the Most High, I consecrate. And here I would state what is being consecrated. And I usually finish with, as I speak it, so it is, or so mote it be. And this further confirms the validity of the words that I've spoken. And then it is done. Again, this is all very strong messages to the subconscious mind. So one final thought, although there's so much to say on the subject really, but this has to be necessarily brief. I think it's really important for your witchcraft or magic to be able to step into that power, even though it might take some practice. And you may never feel entirely comfortable with it. Or again, as I say, you might take to it like a duck to water and it really doesn't have any issues for you. But I think you need to do it, excuse me, and to know that it's effective. Because if you don't believe in your own authority, that which you banish or exercise, or even that which you command, may not either. I think that's something to consider. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and if you've struggled to step into your innate right, do you feel authentic whilst consecrating? Or maybe it gives you imposter syndrome. Well, if it does, I hope this was helpful. Blessings to you all.